A lot of it is also a failure of imagination. It's very hard for people to get their heads around the idea that essentially the easiest way for them to have a huge impact on greenhouse gas emissions is simply to eliminate meat from their diets, which is completely non-essential.
Greetings, perceptive viewers, and welcome to Planet Earth, Our Loving Home, featuring Dr. Patrick Brown of the world-renowned Stanford University School of Medicine, USA, who will discuss the devastatingly harmful environmental effects of animal farming and why he believes all such agriculture should end. Dr. Brown, a vegan, is a leading scientist in the area of genomics, or the study of genomes, and is recognized as one of the top biochemists in the U.S. He is an investigator with the Howard Hughes Medical Institute and became a member of the prestigious U.S. National Academy of Sciences in 2002. Dr. Brown has also done significant work outside his research field. For example, in 2000, he co-founded the Public Library of Science, a free online journal database that offers scientific and medical articles to promote open, effective sharing of new discoveries. As he is deeply concerned about our planet's future, this distinguished scientist is currently taking time off from his research work to pursue a number of climate change-related initiatives. Among other endeavors, he is currently promoting the production of animal product substitutes so consumers will switch to eco-friendly ways of eating, and organizing a broad-based scientific study to demonstrate the many ways humanity can immensely benefit from a global shift to a plant-based diet.
Animal farming, it is by far the most environmentally destructive activity that humans are engaged in. 30% of the dry surface area of the planet right now is devoted to animal farming, either grazing or raising crops to feed animals. And 20% of the biomass of the planet is animals that are being raised for food.
Livestock raising is the single largest emission source of human-caused methane, a highly potent, heat-retaining greenhouse gas, which has 72 times the warming potential of carbon dioxide over a 20-year period and dissipates from the atmosphere within about 12 years. By contrast, it takes 1,000+ years for carbon dioxide to disperse from the air. Many leading scientists now agree that the fastest way to cool our planet is to end livestock breeding because it will limit methane and other dangerous greenhouse gas emissions.
I think people have been slow to recognize the magnitude of the contribution of animal farming to greenhouse gas production. It's only relatively recently that it's been reasonably widely recognized that it's a major contributor. Of greenhouse gases that are shorter lived, I think that's a very important issue, and I completely agree that reducing methane emissions would have tremendous impacts over a relatively short period of time. You could really make a serious dent in methane emissions if you reduce the demand for animal product. And I'd really like to see an end to giving livestock farming an exemption from greenhouse gas regulations, which in the U.S. and now I understand in the EU and in the U.K. currently livestock farming is exempted from regulation. The real problem is right now feeding 7 billion people and 4 billion cows and pigs and sheep and 18 billion chickens that require massive amounts of land to support. Clearing that land so that it would be available for animal farming historically over the past couple of hundred years released as much carbon into the atmosphere as burning fossil fuel at the current rate releases in a period of 17 years. And to the extent that that land can be retired from animal farming and allowed to convert CO2 into biomass, we could potentially actually lower atmospheric carbon dioxide levels.
Meat production consumes a tremendous amount of Earth's scarce freshwater resources and is inherently inefficient when compared to growing plants for food. To produce one serving of beef, over 4,500 liters of water is needed, while one complete vegan meal with tofu, rice, and vegetables requires only 370 liters of water.
I've actually done one calculation just in California, because water is often an issue in California. So I looked at what would be the effect on the cost of meat and dairy products produced in California if everybody had to take the total cost of water in California and everybody was paying the same price per gallon for it, okay? Right now, agriculture is paying a tiny fraction of what household users are paying. If they basically made it all even, it would increase the cost of meat and dairy products produced in California by 50%. Which would, I think, have a huge impact on consumption. My guess is probably it would make beef and dairy farming in California unprofitable, and it would just come to a complete halt. So I would love to see the subsidies stopped. It would have a huge impact on the costs, and it might be actually a way of dealing with the taxation issue. For example, if you said you have to pay more for water and land use, that's an interesting idea.
According to John Robbins' best-selling book, A Diet for a New America, if the meat industry's water costs were no longer subsidized by U.S. taxpayers, the real price of half a kilogram of hamburger would be $35 US and $89 US for the same amount of beef steak.